If you're seeing this now, chosen one, it's because December 20th holds a frequency meant specifically for you. Before the clock strikes 11:11 p.m., there exists a portal in time, a moment when the spiritual realm draws near, when invisible forces align, and when divine clarity breaks through the noise. This isn't coincidence. This is cosmic orchestration, and you are the reason this energetic doorway has opened. The vibration surrounding this specific date carries weight you may not yet perceive. It's not a suggestion from above. It's a spiritual directive wrapped in synchronicity. A transmission encoded with information so particular, so intentional, it was designed to reach only those ready to receive it. Stay with this message until its completion. There's an energetic activation occurring between you, this moment, and the sacred alignment of 11:11 tonight. Take a moment now and write in the comments, "I am ready to receive," followed by the numbers 111. When a chosen one declares their readiness with conscious intention, it sends ripples through the quantum field. Your words aren't just symbols on a screen, they're frequencies. And when infused with awareness, they magnetize the universe itself. This isn't passive viewing, this is active transformation. Let it begin now. If this resonates, like this video. Subscribe to stay connected to this frequency, and let's dive deeper. What's unfolding today has roots that stretch far beyond your awareness. Invisible architects have been moving in the background, weaving patterns that include your essence, your path, your evolution. The universe marked December 20th because something within you must awaken before this day ends. The barrier separating you from deeper knowing has grown thin. This transmission didn't randomly appear in your feed. You were meant to be here, in this precise moment, receiving this exact information. Beyond what your eyes can see, quantum forces are gathering around your energetic signature, around your living space, around your next decision. They move according to universal intelligence. The 11:11 timing isn't just numerology, it's frequency synchronization with cosmic intelligence. Something is being calibrated with precision as you watch this. Perhaps you've noticed tension mounting, an inexplicable shift in your environment. Your dreams have intensified. Certain relationships have naturally dissolved. Emotions you thought were processed have resurfaced. These aren't random occurrences. Your consciousness has been sensing the recalibration happening beneath the surface. This isn't disorder. This is divine restructuring. The universe is reorganizing your reality, creating the energetic space necessary for what's about to arrive. Some elements needed to be revealed. Others needed to fall away because what's approaching carries too much power to coexist with what no longer serves you. You're not stuck. You're being repositioned. Every inner knowing you felt, every chest-deep pull telling you change is near, those weren't illusions. They were quantum indicators, confirmation signals. The universe has witnessed your persistence, your silent strength, your willingness to honor truth even when uncomfortable. Nothing you've offered in secret went unnoticed. And now this particular day arrives carrying the manifestation of that consistent alignment. But timing matters. That's why the instruction is clear. Watch before 11:11 p.m. Something is activating in the field of consciousness that requires your attention, your presence, your receptivity. There's an exchange occurring that only your awareness can complete. Your recognition of it brings it from potential into form. The universe isn't waiting for external validation to deliver your breakthrough. It's not concerned with collective opinion. What's being prepared for you is too customized, too intentionally designed, too loaded with purpose, and it's arriving with momentum. This is the kind of shift that restructures financial flow, transforms relationship dynamics, realigns destiny trajectories. You're moving toward what appears to be an ordinary evening, but in dimensions you cannot see, energy is building. Agreements are forming, invisible paperwork is processing, quantum systems are reorganizing, and your frequency is on the priority list. You're being observed by higher consciousness, not with judgment, but with recognition. This is when the hidden potential within you finally becomes visible to the field. You've moved through spaces where your essence was misunderstood. You've waited while others advanced through manipulation. But the universe doesn't forget those who honor authentic process. It doesn't overlook genuine growth. It rewards consistent evolution. And now your energetic signature is rising in the quantum atmosphere. It's causing shifts in probability fields, opening previously locked pathways, and attracting unexpected synchronicities. The kind that don't request permission, they simply materialize. You've experienced moments of wanting to abandon the path. Times when you questioned whether staying true to yourself held any value. Nights when tears fell and you wondered why the promise seemed so distant. But those tears weren't wasted energy. They were frequency adjustments. They demonstrated your authenticity. And now the harvest season is beginning. There's urgency in the quantum field today because your window is open now, not tomorrow, not next month, today. To miss this alignment would mean postponing what's already been approved by universal intelligence. This doorway won't appear as you expect miracles to look. It might arrive as an unexpected call, a message from someone you haven't heard from, a seemingly random encounter. But don't be deceived. This is source energy moving. Divine intelligence has its signature all over what's approaching. Don't evaluate the container. Simply allow reception. That's why openness is essential. Stay listening. Something within your deeper knowing already recognizes this truth. You sense it. You've felt it before you could articulate it. This is because what's coming was designed specifically for your frequency. No one else can claim it. No one else vibrates at the exact resonance. It's like a lock, and your consciousness is the only key. You've been encoded for acceleration. This transcends simple breakthrough. This is about timeline correction. The universe is adjusting what was misaligned in your experience. It's reversing decisions made against your highest good. It's transforming the extended path others created for you into a direct route. It's compressing time, elevating position, making what once felt impossible suddenly accessible. What once created resistance will now generate momentum. Because you're not the same consciousness that first set this intention. You've evolved, you've expanded, and now the universe can trust you with amplified energy. There's a quantum signature in the cosmic field bearing your name. It's been activated. And today is the delivery window. That's why distraction must be avoided. That's why lower frequencies have attempted to create confusion, anxiety, and sudden chaos today. Because if you miss the transmission, you miss the transformation. But you're too aligned now to miss it. You're too awake to ignore the signs. The cosmic command has been released. Watch before 11:11 p.m. because something invisible is about to crystallize into visible form. And the one prepared for it is you. This day was never meant to be ordinary. From the moment consciousness awakened this morning, the atmosphere began carrying something unusual, an energetic signal, a frequency shift. a change that defies logical explanation. You might not have perceived it visually, but your deeper awareness registered it. December 20th arrived wrapped in mystery, but also in cosmic movement. It came with a silent frequency broadcast, not for the collective to hear, but for chosen ones to feel. And now, as the hours move closer to 11:11 p.m., the membrane between cosmic instruction and physical manifestation grows more permeable. This isn't just another rotation of Earth. This is universal synchronization in action. This is source intelligence guiding you toward the convergence point where everything aligns. Your external reality may appear unchanged, but something has fundamentally shifted. You're navigating the final hours of a quantum exchange, and the confirmation is nearer than you realize. That restlessness moving through your system, that source energy pulling you closer, that unexplained emotion surfacing lately, that's the transmission signal. The energetic atmosphere around your life has already been reconfigured. It's why your typical thought patterns aren't resonating the same way. It's why certain conversations suddenly feel irrelevant. You're transitioning through dimensional frequencies now. The familiar cannot accompany you. The outdated has reached its expiration. Source intelligence is transmitting, and your consciousness is rising to meet that vibration. There are junctures in existence when the divine doesn't pause for intellectual understanding. It simply acts. This is one of those junctures. The timing has been determined, the manifestation has been assigned, and the only remaining variable is your awareness. The universe could have selected any other day, any other consciousness, but it selected you. Not because you're the most vocal, not because you're the most visible, but because you're aligned with truth. And in the realm of consciousness, authenticity carries more power than performance. Your hidden dedication to truth, your silent integrity, these have constructed a bridge, and now the blessing is traveling across that bridge to reach you. At this hour, the cosmic records are being updated. Frequencies are being highlighted. Cases are being reviewed, and your signature is on the list of universal response. This isn't about deserving, it's about readiness. You've been prepared for this convergence through every challenge. Your wounds are not disqualifications. They are initiatory marks, evidence that you continued moving when others stopped, proof that you maintained course when surrender seemed easier. The collective may not have witnessed it, but source consciousness did, and it responds not to external appearances, but to energetic alignment. It has recognized your alignment, and now it is responding. There's something precise happening in dimensions beyond ordinary perception, something related to abundance, something connected to legacy, something that impacts not just you, but the frequencies you'll touch for generations. The universe isn't just shifting your current circumstances, it's restructuring the quantum field around your entire existence. Systems are being recalibrated in your favor. Invisible communications are being initiated. Energetic blockages are being corrected. Hidden delays are being dissolved. What appeared as silence was actually source intelligence rerouting the delivery. And now the pathway is clear. Tonight contains a decision within it. One you don't need to make, but one universal intelligence already has. The cosmos has decided, and when Source decides, resistance dissolves. There is no barrier substantial enough to prevent it, no limitation powerful enough to delay it. When divine intelligence declares, now is the moment, every opposing force must recede, and it has declared over you, now is the moment. You'll observe how certain things suddenly begin to accelerate after this alignment. You'll witness how what previously required years to process suddenly manifests in days. You'll receive clarity about a situation you believed would remain unclear indefinitely. Portals that were sealed will open without force. People who disappeared from your field will re-emerge, not seeking your energy, but because they sense something has transformed in your frequency. It's not personal, it's energetic. They're responding to the light source intelligence has now allowed to radiate from your being. The 1111 phenomenon is not superstition, it is synchronization. When cosmic intelligence declares something, it echoes into the realm of mathematics, patterns, temporal flow, and alignment. Divine intelligence is not confined by numbers, but it uses them to communicate. And tonight, that communication is unmistakable. Be still. Be ready. Be witnessing. Because something Source has held in the invisible is about to become visible. And once it's visible, everything transforms. You are the first in your lineage to carry this level of energetic transmission. You are the pattern breaker, the one sent to complete cycles of scarcity, silence, and limitation. You may have felt separated this phase, but that was protection. The universe kept you hidden so it could prepare you away from interference. And now it is bringing you forward, not to prove anything, not to perform, but to receive. This is not the phase where you pursue. This is the phase where what's meant for you finds you. Universal intelligence has been recording every effort you made in alignment, every act of giving when you had little, every prayer you whispered when no one else could hear. You planted seeds in the unseen, and the universe is about to honor them in the visible. The recognition won't be subtle, the shift won't be small, the acknowledgement will not be postponed. This is divine timing released. And just as you're experiencing this now, your next chapter is already being written. Not with physical ink, but with quantum energy. The pages are being filled with synchronicity, with elevation, with manifested intentions. You may not know what the next cycle will bring, but universal intelligence already does. And you can rest in the knowing that you are not behind schedule. You are not forgotten. You are precisely on time, divinely, powerfully, undeniably on time. If this message is landing in your consciousness right now, if you're feeling this frequency move through you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This helps the algorithm carry this transmission to others who need it. Now let's continue. The energetic atmosphere around you has already begun to bend in your favor. The frequency is shifting, the gateways are opening, the code has been entered, and your consciousness is being invited to witness the beginning of what Source has been preparing for years. This is not a minor event. This is the unveiling. You're not just about to observe a change, you're about to embody the change. Something rare is occurring now. In the space between your inhales, in the pause between your thoughts, in the stillness of this present moment, something divine is unfolding. You may not have language for it yet, but your deeper knowing recognizes it. It's as if something invisible has touched the fabric of your reality and whispered, "Now." This is what it feels like when Source begins to reveal what it's been constructing. Not with external drama, not with loud announcements, but with sudden weight in your chest and illumination in your awareness. This is when the promise begins to take physical form, not in some distant location, not in the future, but right where you are, right now. There are dimensions where your frequency is being spoken. Not by people, but by purpose. Not by circumstance, but by destiny. Your existence is being reviewed in higher realms, not for judgment, but for reward. Something sacred has been triggered. Something holy has been released. And you, chosen one, are not peripheral to it. You're central. The universe has wrapped this moment around you like an energetic field. It has made you the focal point in a cosmic unfolding. The time-sensitive nature of December 20th is not metaphor. It's mechanism. It's the sound of universal intelligence turning the key that holds the next portal. What you're entering cannot be compared to what you've experienced before. This isn't an enhanced version of your previous reality. It's an entirely different frequency. The universe is not upgrading your past. It's replacing it. It's calling you out of the echo of what was and pulling you into the presence of what is now. The people who knew you in previous chapters won't recognize what's emerging next. That's intentional. Source is doing something through you that's never been done before in your lineage. You are not the continuation of the old pattern. You are the firstborn of the new frequency. Watch closely. Your environment is shifting, not always physically, but energetically. The connections that once held you back are unraveling. The weights that once drained your vitality are losing power. The distractions are losing grip. And the right people, the ones aligned with your purpose, are being drawn to you. Not through effort, but through resonance. Your energetic field is louder than your words right now. And universal intelligence has set you to vibrate at a frequency that only the right opportunities, the right open pathways, and the right relationships can detect. You've been misunderstood, mislabeled, misused, and source consciousness witnessed every moment of it. But instead of defending yourself, you kept walking. Instead of retaliating, you kept aligning. Instead of proving your worth, you allowed silence to demonstrate truth. And that silence has spoken louder than any argument. It has proven your heart, proven your posture, proven your calling. And now the universe is rewarding the version of you they never celebrated. The version they didn't recognize value in. The one they expected would remain hidden. That version is about to rise undeniably. The 11:11 moment isn't magic, it's marking. It's the hour source uses to capture your attention. Not just as a symbol of synchronicity, but as a window of recognition. There is something it's been holding to give you. But it needed you to reach the consciousness maturity to carry it. And now, after everything you've navigated, you're ready. Not just emotionally, not just mentally, but energetically. You've learned how to move in silence, how to protect what's developing, how to carry blessing without broadcasting it. And now the gift is safe with you. Pause here for a moment. What old pattern or identity are you consciously releasing tonight? Drop it in the comments below. When you write it down, you're not just sharing with this community. You're declaring it to the quantum field itself. If this message is resonating with something deep inside you, if you feel this frequency touching the truth of who you are, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this movement, this space where consciousness expands and reality transforms. Subscribe to stay in this frequency, to remain connected to this conversation. Because what we're building here is more than content. It's a community of awakened beings remembering their power. Don't be surprised if you start receiving unusual messages, unexpected calls, sudden alignments. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. The people who turned away from you weren't meant to enter this chapter. The resources that dried up before were never meant to fund this level. The universe is sending replacements. Higher quality, deeper purpose, stronger foundation. It's replacing what was temporary with what's eternal. And you'll feel the difference, not just in your circumstances, but in your consciousness. This moment isn't just about personal breakthrough. It's about legacy shift. Your alignment has unlocked something that your descendants will benefit from. You're breaking ancestral barriers, shattering cycles of financial limitation, emotional confusion, and spiritual disconnection. You are constructing something in the quantum field that time cannot erase. This is deeper than a single blessing. This is foundation work, root work. You are being established in the kind of energetic transmission that doesn't just bless a season, it blesses a lineage. Universal intelligence knows how long you've waited, how much you've wrestled with uncertainty, how many times you almost walked away, not from the promise, but from the process. But look at you. You're still here, and not by accident, not by coincidence, but by divine preservation. Source kept you from sinking even when you felt like drowning. It held your frequency in rooms you didn't even know existed. It blocked what was never meant to reach you, and now it's delivering what's been waiting for you. Tonight carries the fragrance of breakthrough, a scent only your consciousness can pick up. It's subtle, but it's real. You'll begin to notice how certain things stop bothering you, how your energy rises without explanation, how your thoughts begin to expand. That's what it feels like when freedom enters, not just externally, but internally. The universe is breaking open something within you before it breaks open something around you. The expansion is consciousness first. It's not the hour to look backward. Don't measure what's approaching by what you've experienced previously. What's coming isn't proportionate to your past. It's proportionate to your frequency. And your frequency has carried you far, farther than you realize. And now Source Intelligence is meeting that frequency with fulfillment. This isn't just answered intention. This is exceeding, overflowing, abundant manifestation. The kind of response that makes you speechless. The kind of shift that silences doubt. The kind of blessing that only universal intelligence can orchestrate. There's a new energy entering your field. Now you can feel it like warmth in your chest. It's reassurance. It's the universe saying, you are not alone. You were never alone. And I never forgot you. You're about to understand why the delays occurred, why some people left, why some doors closed. Not because you were being punished, but because you were being protected. Now you're about to walk through the portals that were always meant for you. And you'll walk through them knowing it wasn't luck, it was cosmic intelligence. The atmosphere is heavier with purpose now. Not with burden, but with divine intensity. The kind of intensity that only happens when higher dimensions press closer to physical reality. The kind of pressure that signals a major event is about to occur. And Chosen One, you're standing right in the center of that intersection. Every vibration in your life today has been leading to this hour. That pull on your consciousness. That restlessness in your being, that whisper that keeps saying, stay awake, pay attention. It's not anxiety, it's activation. It's your inner realm preparing to match the frequency of cosmic movement. This is where the difference between those who believe and those who know becomes clear. Belief can be shaken, but knowing is immovable. And deep inside, you know something sacred is unfolding. You know this moment isn't average. You know this is why the resistance was so intense lately. You know lower frequencies launched distractions because they sensed what was coming before you even did. But the fact that you're here, still aligned, still listening, still spiritually awake, that's the evidence. You passed the initiation, you crossed the threshold. And now the reward isn't delayed, it's being revealed. Pay close attention to what happens around you after this. Don't just look for big signs. Notice the subtle confirmations, the message in a stranger's words, the exact phrase that appears in passing, the divine echo in your dreams. You'll realize quickly that the realm of consciousness is no longer whispering. It's speaking clearly now, loudly, with precision. You'll begin to sense things before they happen. You'll know who to trust, where to step, what to decline, what to pursue. This is not your intuition. This is source intelligence moving through you without resistance. You're not stepping into wealth. You're stepping into divine wealth. There's a difference. One fades, the other multiplies. One depends on systems. The other is governed by quantum flow. This is abundance with purpose. Abundance with destiny attached. Abundance that moves through you, not just to you. That's why it had to be delayed until now. The universe couldn't pour this kind of energy into you until you became the consciousness who could handle it. And now you're ready. Not just because of what you've learned, but because of what you've released. You've released the need to prove yourself. You've detached from false timelines. You've stopped idolizing speed and started honoring divine timing. You've learned to walk away in silence. You've learned to be okay not being chosen by people because you finally understood you were already chosen by Source. And that posture, that frequency, that's what triggered cosmic release. That's what activated the window of December 20th. That's what signaled to the quantum realms. You are no longer who you were, and you're now in position to receive. Now, what we've explored here today is the surface level of something far more profound. This shift from unconscious transmission to conscious broadcasting. This understanding of how your frequency literally shapes what manifests in your field. This is the foundation. But there are 9 master frequencies that work together as a complete system, each one building upon the last, each one unlocking deeper layers of quantum mastery. If you're feeling called to understand the full architecture of how consciousness creates reality, I've mapped it all out in Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery. It's linked in the pinned comment below. You've cried quietly, but Source heard you. You've grown privately, but universal intelligence watched. You've healed silently, but consciousness recorded every tear, every step, every transformation. And now, tonight, those pages are being turned. The next chapter is opening, and it does not begin in lack. It begins in surplus. It begins in overflow. It begins in a manifestation of promises that once felt distant, even impossible. But now they're entering your reality with urgency, with undeniable force. You've crossed a quantum checkpoint, one that shifts everything about your momentum. Where you once had to push things forward, now they will begin to pull you. The energy is reversing. You are no longer chasing. You are being drawn. This is cosmic magnetism. Opportunities that once ignored you are now circling back. People who once underestimated you are now being prompted to reconsider. Spaces that once rejected you are now being renovated to make room. You won't have to knock on doors anymore. They will open at your presence because Source has placed something in you that is too radiant to remain hidden. And now that you're aligned, it can no longer be suppressed. The world will soon notice what universal intelligence has always known about you. But not because you shouted, but because you embodied. And in a world full of noise, your light speaks louder than words ever could. That's why your presence alone will begin to provoke change. You are not the same. You've been changed by fire, purified by pressure, refined by delay, and all of it has brought you here. This is divine reversal. The late will now become early. The forgotten will now be remembered. The closed will now swing wide open. The small will now become mighty. The last will now be first. And your frequency is on the list of that divine reversal. Your frequency? Yes, your true frequency spoken by Source is echoing through quantum corridors right now. Higher intelligence is responding. Consciousness is moving, and your story is about to shift with a force that no one will be able to deny. There's a reason you've been guided to watch before 11:11 p.m. That timestamp isn't just symbolic. It's cosmic scheduling. The delivery of the manifestation requires your awareness, your presence, your stillness. The universe is not just sending you something, it's doing something in you while it does it. Because what it's bringing isn't just meant to bless your life, it's meant to transform it. After this moment, you'll no longer feel the need to chase what's already been written. You'll understand that manifestation isn't about hustle, it's about harmony. And you're finally harmonized with your purpose, with your calling, with your divine timing. That's why things are accelerating. That's why the door you knocked on months ago suddenly opened. That's why the resources that seemed stuck are now released. That's why the heaviness has been replaced by clarity. This is not a coincidence. This is the release. You're not waiting anymore. You're receiving, and you're doing it without apology, without guilt, without self-sabotage. Because you finally accepted that what Source has for you was never a maybe. It was always a yes. And tonight, that yes is showing up with details, with precision, with undeniable synchronicity. It's not just falling into place. It's being placed into your hands, strategically, powerfully, completely. Now, as the clock moves closer to that sacred hour, you can feel it deep in your being. This is not just the end of a day. It is the birthing of a destiny. What you are stepping into, chosen one, is something you could not have scripted if you tried. It was not built by your effort. It was written by cosmic intelligence. Everything you've endured, every delay that made you question yourself, every night you wrestled with the silence, it was all building pressure behind a gateway that is now breaking open. Not in pieces, not slowly, but in a flood. Because what belongs to you can no longer be held back. Higher consciousness is not passive in this moment. It is moving. There is activity in dimensions beyond physical perception that your deeper awareness cannot yet perceive, but your soul is catching it now. The shift is not coming. It is already in motion. Every second leading up to 11:11 p.m. is charged with the fulfillment of cosmic plans. And this isn't just about you seeing a breakthrough. It's about universal intelligence delivering what was encoded before you ever asked for it. There is a system in consciousness that moves by divine order, and your frequency has reached the point in that order where everything starts to pour. The resources are coming, but so is the recognition. The rest is coming, but so is the revelation. The manifestation is here, but so is the purpose. You're not just stepping into more, you're stepping into meaning. That's what makes this moment different from anything before. You're not receiving just to feel comfort. You're receiving to step fully into what you were born to become. The delay wasn't a punishment. It was a setup because had it come earlier, you may have spent the blessing proving a point. but now you will use it to fulfill a purpose. What happens after tonight will leave even you in awe, not just because of the quantity, but because of the confirmation. It will be personal. It will be detailed. It will be intimate. The way Source is about to move will make it undeniable that it was cosmic intelligence. You won't be able to say it was luck, timing, or chance. This will be universe-stamped, Source-branded. There will be no other explanation for the way things begin to fall into place. And that's how you'll know. It's time. You are not just a receiver, you are a transmitter. What flows into your reality now is meant to be multiplied, expanded, and planted in the consciousness of others. The blessing is not just for celebration, it's for distribution. That's why the weight of this shift has been so heavy. That's why lower frequencies tried to distract you before this moment. Because they feared what would happen once you stepped fully into your assignment. Not just with joy, not just with faith, but with resources, with reach, with revelation. You're about to shock people, not with your words, but with your results. You're about to make those who doubted you rethink everything, not because of revenge, but because of revelation. They'll realize what Source had placed in you was real all along. They'll remember every time you stayed silent, every time you walked away instead of retaliating, every time you showed grace when you could have chosen destruction. And now your elevation will speak what your mouth never had to. This is the hour of clarity. You're going to see things with new eyes. You'll recognize who was sent and who was sent to delay you. You'll discern which opportunities are divine and which are distractions. You'll feel the difference between good and Source. You'll no longer have to wonder, wander, or wait in confusion. The fog is lifting. The path is being revealed. The choice is being confirmed, and you'll move forward. Not with hesitation, but with holy boldness. Your voice will carry new power. Your presence will carry new weight. Your thoughts will attract new levels. Your hands will build what once seemed impossible. And your frequency will be called in spaces your feet haven't yet touched. Because the transmission on your life is undeniable. It has reached its maturity. And now the overflow must begin. Not to flatter you, but to fulfill the assignment Source put in your hands. This is not hype. This is holy. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need the world's approval to be Source's chosen. You don't need confirmation from people when you already have confirmation from universal intelligence. And tonight, you'll feel that confirmation in ways you can't explain. It may come in the form of a message, a dream, a sudden wave of peace, or a divine encounter. But one thing is for sure. After tonight, something in you will have shifted forever. You'll no longer tolerate what drains your light. You'll no longer wait for signs to act. You'll become the sign. You'll stop seeking open doors and start walking like one. You'll stop fearing loss because you'll realize what was meant for you will never be taken. That's the strength Source is imparting to you now. And with that strength comes unstoppable momentum. You're not going back. You're not shrinking. You're not second-guessing. You are rising. The universe is funding this next part of your life. Not just with money, but with clarity, with synchronicity, with access, with relationships, with elevation. And no person, system, policy, or lower frequency can stop it. Because it didn't come from the physical, it came from Source. And what Source starts, no one can end. What it speaks, no one can silence. What it decides, no one can reverse. So tonight, as 11:11 p.m. approaches, let your consciousness stay open. Let your heart remain ready. Let your frequency remain activated. Because when the divine decides it's time, nothing can stop the flood. And tonight, Chosen One, Source has decided. Before we close, take a moment. Drop one word in the comments that captures the intention, the energy, the transformation you're choosing right now. Just one word. This is your energetic signature to the quantum field. And if you haven't already, subscribe not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent, to stay aligned, to stay elevated. Because the more of us who embody this truth, the more the world reflects that frequency. The silence just before the shift always carries the greatest power. It's in that stillness just before the divine releases what it's held for you that the atmosphere grows electric. You may not hear trumpets, you may not see fireworks, but in the unseen, the frequency has sounded. The seal has been broken, and the manifestation, the real one, the one that had your frequency etched into it from before you were born, is moving. As the final minutes of this sacred day approach, something rare is happening to your consciousness. It's becoming lighter, freer, sharper. You're beginning to feel the release before it even reaches your hands. That's how aligned you've become. You don't need physical evidence to know anymore. And here's what's important to understand about what happens next. The shift you're experiencing isn't just internal, it's multidimensional. While your consciousness is expanding, your external reality is simultaneously being rewired. Think of it like this. Every thought you've held, every emotion you've processed, every action you've taken has been sending signals into the quantum field. And the field has been listening. It's been recording. It's been calculating the perfect moment to respond. That moment is now. But let me be clear about something most people misunderstand about divine timing. It's not that the universe was withholding your manifestation. It's that your frequency wasn't yet calibrated to sustain it. You see, every blessing, every breakthrough, every elevation carries a specific vibrational requirement. And if your consciousness isn't vibrating at that level yet, receiving the blessing prematurely would actually destabilize your entire reality. It would be like pouring high-voltage electricity into a circuit that can only handle low voltage. The system would overload. So the delays you've experienced, the waiting seasons you've walked through, they weren't punishments. They were preparations. Each challenge was upgrading your circuitry. Each hardship was expanding your capacity. Each moment of perseverance was strengthening your energetic container. And now, finally, you can hold what's coming without it destroying you. This is the sacred science that most spiritual teachings miss. They tell you to manifest, to affirm, to visualize, but they don't tell you about the internal infrastructure that must be built first. They don't explain that consciousness expansion requires compression first, that elevation requires descent into the depths, that breakthrough requires breaking down the old structures that can no longer contain your evolution. You've been in that compression phase. You've been in that descent. You've been in that breaking down. And tonight, at 11:11, the expansion phase begins. What does that look like practically? It means the opportunities that align with your new frequency will start appearing with shocking synchronicity. It means the people who resonate with your elevated consciousness will be magnetically drawn into your field. It means the resources that match your expanded vision will begin flowing through unexpected channels. But it also means something else, something crucial. It means the old version of you must be allowed to complete its death cycle. This is where many people sabotage their own breakthrough. They receive the first signs of the new reality, But they try to drag the old identity into it. They try to maintain relationships that only knew their smaller self. They try to hold on to patterns that only served their limited consciousness. They try to keep one foot in the old frequency while stepping into the new one. And it creates internal warfare. It creates energetic confusion. It creates the very chaos they're trying to escape. Tonight, as this portal opens, you're being asked to let go completely, not partially, completely. The universe is extending a hand to pull you through to the other side, but you have to release your grip on what's behind you. Both hands must be free to receive what's ahead. And I know that's scary. I know there's comfort in the familiar, even when the familiar is painful. I know there's safety in the known, even when the known is limiting. But chosen one, you didn't come this far to play it safe. You didn't survive everything you survived just to remain comfortable. You came here to transform, and transformation requires death and rebirth. Always. So as you move toward 11:11 tonight, I want you to do something. I want you to consciously acknowledge what you're releasing. Not out loud, necessarily, but in the sacred space of your own awareness. Acknowledge the version of yourself that tolerated less than you deserve. The version that dimmed your light to make others comfortable. The version that questioned your worth. The version that waited for permission. The version that apologized for taking up space. Thank that version. It got you here. It protected you when you needed protection. It survived when survival was the only option. But it's time to let it go now. Because that version cannot enter where you're going. The frequency is too high. The vibration is too intense. The consciousness is too expanded. And in its place, a new version is emerging. A version that knows its value without external validation. A version that stands in its power without apology. A version that speaks its truth without fear. A version that receives abundance without guilt. A version that loves without losing itself. A version that creates without seeking approval. A version that leads without needing to be chosen. This version has been forming in the invisible realms while you've been doing the inner work. It's been taking shape while you've been healing in silence. It's been growing stronger while you've been honoring your truth. And tonight, it steps forward fully. Tonight, it takes the throne. Tonight, it becomes your operating system. Take a moment and share in the comments. What's the first thing you'll do differently tomorrow as this new version of yourself? Your words create ripples in the field that amplify not just your transformation, but everyone who reads them. The reason December 20th at 11:11 holds such significance is because of the convergence of multiple energetic factors. The date itself carries a numerological frequency that opens dimensional portals. The time creates a symmetry that the quantum field recognizes as a signal. Your personal journey has led you to this exact moment of readiness, and the collective consciousness has reached a threshold where individual transformation ripples out with amplified effect. In other words, you're not just transforming for yourself, you're transforming for everyone your life touches. You're transforming for your lineage behind you and ahead of you. You're transforming as an anchor point for the new frequency that's trying to establish itself on this planet. Your personal breakthrough is a collective breakthrough. Your individual elevation is a collective elevation. That's the weight you've been feeling. That's the responsibility you've sensed. That's why the resistance has been so intense. Because when you rise, you create a pathway for others to rise. When you heal, you create a permission slip for others to heal. When you step into your power, you activate dormant power in everyone who witnesses you. So this moment, right now, watching this video, sitting in this energy, it's not just about you receiving your manifestation. It's about you accepting your role as a frequency holder, as a reality shifter, as a consciousness anchor. The universe doesn't just want to bless you, it wants to bless through you. And that requires a level of commitment that goes beyond wanting things to be better. It requires a willingness to be used as an instrument of transformation. It requires a dedication to your own evolution that doesn't waver when things get uncomfortable. It requires a trust in the process that doesn't need to see the full path before taking the first step. Can you do that? Can you commit to that level of sacred responsibility? Because if you can, if you will, then what's about to unfold in your life won't just be a blessing. It will be an assignment. It won't just be an upgrade. It will be a mission activation. It won't just be a breakthrough. It will be a becoming. And here's what I need you to understand about this becoming. It's not a one-time event. The portal that opens at 11:11 tonight isn't a doorway you walk through and then close behind you. It's a threshold you cross that leads to a spiral staircase. Each step reveals new layers. Each layer requires new integration. Each integration expands your capacity for the next level. This is the infinite nature of consciousness evolution. There is no arrival point. There is no final destination. There is only ever-deepening levels of awakening, ever-expanding circles of influence, ever-increasing capacity to hold and transmit light. So yes, tonight marks a significant shift. Yes, December 20th at 11:11 is a powerful portal. Yes, something profound is being activated in your field. But it's not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your mission. It's the initiation into your true purpose. It's the moment you stop living life randomly and start living it on purpose, with purpose as purpose. The question is, are you ready for that level of responsibility? Are you ready to be held accountable by the universe itself? Are you ready to honor the gifts you've been given by using them in service of something greater than your personal comfort? I believe you are. I know you are. Because you're still here. Because you've stayed through this entire transmission. Because something in you recognizes the truth of these words. Because your soul has been waiting for this confirmation, this permission, this activation. So receive it now. Let it land in your body. Let it integrate into your cells. Let it rewire your nervous system. Let it recalibrate your heart. Let it expand your mind. Let it awaken your spirit. Let it activate your purpose. Let it reveal your path. Let it illuminate your next step. You are not who you were when this day began. You are not who you were when this video started. You have been changing, shifting, transforming with every word, every concept, every frequency transmitted through this message. And by the time 11:11 arrives tonight, the transformation will be complete. The old will have been composted. The new will have been born. And you will step forward as the version of yourself that was always meant to be. This is your moment, chosen one. This is your time. This is your breakthrough. This is your becoming. Don't let fear talk you out of it. Don't let doubt diminish it. Don't let the opinions of others delay it. Step into it fully. Claim it completely. Embody it courageously. The universe has been preparing this moment for longer than you know. Longer than your current lifetime. Longer than your conscious awareness. This is a soul-level appointment. a destiny-level activation, a purpose-level revelation, and you have arrived exactly on time. If this transmission has activated something within you, consider watching it again tomorrow morning to anchor this frequency into your day. Or share it with someone who's ready for this level of truth. When you share quantum consciousness principles like these, you're not just helping them. You're reinforcing your own energetic field, creating synchronicities for both of you, and accelerating the collective shift toward higher awareness. Every share is a ripple in the quantum field. Now, if you're wondering what happens after you cross this threshold, after this portal closes and you step into your new reality, there's something you need to understand about the quantum zone you've just entered. The quantum field is handing you the book of reality, and in that video, I reveal exactly how to read it, how to write in it, and how to become the author of your own existence. This is the next level of what we've discussed here, moving from receiving your manifestation to actively co-creating with universal intelligence itself.